Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this tutorial I'll be talking about the VLOOKUP. So in this tutorial we're talking about the VLOOKUP. The VLOOKUP simply means you copying an information from another spreadsheet and putting it in a different table. Like for the instance, I've created this particular exercise or table for the purpose of this lesson. You can see here this column here, column C, it's actually empty and column E is empty. So what VLOOKUP simply means is that you copy information from a different table or from elsewhere and complete an empty column or an empty cell. So here, but in this case, you're not just copying an information or a value from somewhere else, but you'll be using a formula when it comes to VLOOKUP. So before we start, we do have another table in the sheet 2 here. You will see, so we're getting the customer's information. Instead of just clicking copy and paste at this point, you will use a formula to do that. So here we do have a different table where we have customer's name and customer's address, and at this point we have these columns empty. So we're getting information from this particular sheet or table and putting them in these columns that are empty. Now there's something I need you to understand is that assume that you have over 100 columns and not just about 5 columns, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns in this exercise. And also imagine that you have over 1,000 records and rules, right? So imagine that you have over 1,000 or 5,000 records. That's where you understand the basics of using the VLOOKUP. So having said that, let's get into the exercise. So I want to fill up these columns using VLOOKUP formula. So to do that, you simply go to this point where you have insert a function. Click that point, insert a function. So because I have been working with VLOOKUP, you will see here at this point I easily have that in select a function. VLOOKUP is showing there. So these are some of the functions I've actually worked on lately. So you will see that it's showing here. But for someone who is just starting, what you need to do is at this point the first thing you look at is this box here. Select the category, you click on that point, you go to lookup and reference, click on that lookup and reference. If you're working with VLOOKUP, scroll down and you will see the VLOOKUP function. Click and click the OK. Now once you do that, you will see that the function argument dialog box appears. Now this is where you begin to fill up these boxes. This particular one says lookup value. Lookup value simply means what do you have, what value do you have you want to use to look up or copy information from another range or from another table or from another worksheet. So at this point we'll be using the customer account detail. Like here we're using the customer account detail because it's unique. It's a unique number here for a customer. So we'll be using the customer account number to get customer's name. So lookup value, what information do you have at hand that you want to use to get the detail that you're looking for? That's what this box means, lookup value. So for this purpose, for this exercise, I'll be using the account number. So I'll just click on this first one. Now it places B2 there for me. Where you have the second box there simply means table array. Table array simply means from where do you want to get the information from? Where exactly do you want to get that information from? That's the meaning of table array. Now, because I did show you that the information is in what sheet, click in the table array box. Once you do that, click exactly sheet 2. Now select the table range, the entire table, right? So once selected, you will see that it's now in table array box. Now to fill up the column index number, what this simply means is, now before I explain that, usually in Excel this is column A, B, C, D, E and so forth. When it comes to VLOOKUP, this becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so forth. So right now, remember what we're looking for: customer name. Now this is 1, 2. Customer name is in column B, so that's what you're gonna put there. Customer name is in column B, which is 2. That's what you're gonna put in column index number 2. Right. You get the range number first before you click the box, so it's easier for you to work with. Now when you have the range lookup, two values always goes in there, in this box. When it's false, if you type in, the two values are false or true. So when you type in false, it means that you want to get the exact information, exact match or exact information. When you type in true, you want to get something similar to what you're looking for. So in this particular activity, I want to get the exact information, so I'll just type in false there. So once you do that, you will see the information already showing here. But when you see a red color text here or error, it means that what you did is wrong. You can try to type in true at that point if you're not too sure of what value to put there or what arguments to put there. Alright, so once you do that, you type in, you click the OK, and that's the name. The customer account, the account number is owned by John. Now you always use your autofill. If you have empty stuff, use your autofill and copy down the formula to the empty cells. Now if you look here, you will notice that I have not available, and all of that. Remember, what this simply means is that Excel could not copy the formula down to the other cells, so you need to make this formula absolute. So I'm going to clean up everything to that point and delete. Click there. To make your formula absolute, you just need to hold down, look for the cell range, right, which is A1 column C6, and make them absolute. Make them absolute by entering the $sign. $sign, you will see what I'm doing there. The cell range. So if I click on that point, you will see the exact point that I have just, let me make it clearer so you can see. You see that this is the point I have. I hope you're seeing that the point I have added, I have made absolute, or I have added the $sign. That simply means I have made the formula in a way that Excel can copy it down to the other cells. Okay, so once that is done, you press the enter key. Now if I run my autofill, you would see that the formula is copied down and I can get every other information from this particular table. So that is what is called VLOOKUP. The same thing I have just done, I'll do the same thing here, using the customer number to get the home address for these customers. So I click in the cell address and go to insert function. Like I said, look up this box, lookup and reference. I scroll right all the way down and click the VLOOKUP, click OK. Now again, VLOOKUP value, I'm working with the account number. Table array, this is where exactly do you want to get the information from. That's what this means, table array. So that's sheet 2. I will select the entire table. Now I have it there. Column index number, what exactly are you looking for? Like I said, this is 1, 2, 3. we are looking for the addresses of those customers. So column index number here is 3. So I type in what? 3. Now the lookup range, like I did say, lookup range, you have two values. Either you key in true or you key in false. True means you want to get something similar to what you're looking for, while false means you want to get the exact match. So I want to get the exact match, I'll just key in false. So once you do that, you will see the information appearing by the right hand side here, meaning that you got your stuff right. But when you are working and keying information in these boxes and you see some red text or error, know that what you're putting in is wrong. You may want to try a true. If you're not too sure of what to put, then you try true and get your stuff right. Click OK, and that's what we have. I'll just extend this column by auto-fitting that particular point. So again, if I run an autofill, the same thing happens here. The same thing I experienced in the customer name, not available and all of that. That's because Excel couldn't copy down the formula or hold the formula together. So I'll make that formula absolute by what? Keying in the dollar signs between the cell address. Here, this is the cell address, A1 column C6. So that's where I'll put in my dollar sign. You can see how I'm doing that. You know exactly where to put it. Once you finish, you press the enter key. Another way you can key in the dollar sign is pressing your F4 key. So I'll just copy this down. Now that's my addresses. So I copy, extend the width by auto-fitting. Alright, so that's it when it comes to the VLOOKUP. So to use the F4, this is where you use your F4 at this particular point here. Once you're here, you just press your F4 key, table array. Once you get your table range, press the F4 key before you proceed to entering the column index and that lookup range. At this point, press the F4 key to make your work absolute. Otherwise, once you finish, if you didn't get it at that point, then you do it manually like I did here. Go to the formula bar and type it in between the cell address. Alright, so that's quite easy. That's the basics when it comes to the lookup and VLOOKUP. What it simply means, again, before I round up, is that you're copying information from a particular table or worksheet to another table, like you saw me doing here, but using a formula. That's what VLOOKUP means. You might not be told to use VLOOKUP. Once you know what you want to do, you want to copy information from a particular table to another table, then you use the VLOOKUP. I hope you do like this tutorial.